What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Robel and today I'm going to show you how to make this awesome 3D UI animation in After Effects, and I'm going to take you through step by step on how to do this. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. The first thing we're going to start off is by creating a composition. So you just can create a composition here, and I'm going to call it this time something like animation effect, something like this, because I already named my compositions a lot of times. So, and the duration is around 30 seconds, around 59 or 60 frames per second, and I'm just going to press OK. Now we have empty comp, and first thing I want to do is import my assets. For example, I have this one and my screenshots from my YouTube channel, and as you can see, it's really high quality screenshot. So I'm just going to press S and scale it down to be the size of my composition, but to be something like 25 is okay, and to be something like this. And this looks cool. And I'm going to right click on it and recompose it, and let's call it image. We'll call it image and press OK. So now after we imported this and we pre-comped it, I want to cut out this screenshot on the corners to make it look fancy. So I'm going to right click, go to new, and I'm going to create a shape layer. And in this shape layer, on the drop down on the add, I'm going to add a rectangle and a fill. And as you can see now, we have this little tiny fill round in the middle. So I'm just going to make it bigger, and I'm going to make it bigger using the rectangle path. That is the size, and I'm going to turn off this one. And here my composition is 1920. So 1920, here it will be 1080, and press OK. Now it's filled on it. And on the roundness, I'm going to put it around 200, and it's going to also cut these corners for me. So after we do that, I want to use this shape layer as a matte so that our image will be visible in the middle and not this. So the way you're going to do it is using the pick whip tool, attach this to this. And if you can't find the pick whip tool or the matte option, you can always use this. Or if you don't want to use this, you can just drag it like this. And now, as you can see on corners, I cut. And you can check if it's light on in this. This is basically, do you want the background to be black, dark, or some empty sticks? And you can check it this way. Okay, so now we have this cool looking UI, and we can move on to the view. So I'm going to select both of them, right click, and I'm going to pre-compose them. And I'm going to call this, I don't know, effect, and I'm pressed OK. Here on the main one, if you're enjoying this video, consider supporting me on Patreon. You'll get exclusive project files, bonus content, and help me keep creating more videos for you. The link is in the description. After this, we want to have this borders where we can put this light going on. So now I have this corners cut out, and so I'm going to copy this shape layer into this main, just as a placeholder. And as you can see, this is this. And here on the rectangle path, I want to convert this into path. So I'm going to right click and convert to base here. And now generally we have this path. And the next thing I want to do is I want to create a solid object. And the solid object will be 3000 pixel by 3000. So it's like kind of big, and just press OK. And it doesn't matter what color it is, because eventually we're not going to use it. But yeah, the solid layer is this. And once we have this solid layer, I'm going to click on this rectangle tool double times so that we can create a mask. And the mask is basically this. So like the mask is like this, and under the mask we have this mask path. So I'm going to copy this path I have. I'm going to press Ctrl+C and paste it on this path. And what it's going to do is it's going to cut out all the big rectangle into a smaller one with the same type of shape like we did before. And the reason why this is useful is now we can put some effect. and the effect is called Saber. And this is a plugin. You can find it online. Yeah, I'll put a link down below this plugin. But if you want, let me know. I can make another story where we don't have to use this, but this just makes everything simpler. That's why I'm using it. And on the Saber settings, go to the render settings, and there's in this composite settings, it's black, change it to transparent, and in this customize color, change it to layer mask. Now, as you can see, it looks like this. And I'm going to also change the core size to be around 5, and I think that's it. And I'm also going to create right-click, new camera, and the camera is its default setting. Just press OK, and this is going to change everything into 3D layer. So the reason we changed it to 3D layer is because we can push this all back, and I'm going to push it back like this so that we can have a better view. All right, okay, now we move the camera and we have the solid layer and the shape. Here on the customize core, we can adjust on the Saber settings, we can adjust things like size should be around 0, and the offset, the start offset, let's put it around 60 or 70, maybe 75. 74 is okay. And the end roundness, let's put it around 1. Another thing we want to do is we want to change the colors of this. While the Saber is going, we want to change the color of the inside. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to go to this base layer, the effect one, and I'm going to add an effect called tritone. And what this basically does is it gives you 3 colors, highlight, shadow, in the mid. But we're only interested in the mid. And we can actually attach the midtones to the Saber color. So we have the Saber here, and here is the mid. Okay, we're going to attach this glow color in the Saber to this midtone. And just pick the whip tool and attach it to the midtones. That way we have the same type. And if you want to change the color of this whole thing, just play around with it. Now you can change the whole color of the tone. And if the tone is too much, you can blend with the original, and I'm going to put around 50 so that it matches. But you can create any type of colors here. Maybe bluish, or maybe this might look good. I did it with a yellow, but you can do multiple colors. So just play around with it. We will fix something interesting. Okay, now we did this. Now we have the Saber and the color matches. The next will be the light itself. And the way we're going to create the light is we're going to right click, new, we're going to put spotlight. And this spotlight is going to act as the only light, not the only, but it's the light source that will focus on the screen. So I'm just going to press OK. And as you can see, now it's starting getting interesting. And the reason our light is so big, as you can see, it's because the position is not matching our composition. So here it's 1920. So I want to write 1920 and let's divide it by 2 so that it will have half of the space of our composition. And this one is 1080, so I'm going to also divide it by 2. And divide is just put the slash on. The effect is going to calculate. And let's have the 2 views here now. Now we have this, but we want this light follow the same. So the way we're going to do it is using this path. And using this path, copy it by Control-P, this path, and paste it on that position. And as you can see, now it's attached to it. And if you see now, it goes around. But that's what we want. And one thing I forgot to do is also animate the Saber. So I'm going to undo this actually. And I'm also going to turn off this. And let's go to the one view. And before we do this, let's actually animate the Saber. Because now if we move on the composition, this light is stuck. So let's make a keyframe on the mask evolution one time here, and around, let's say, the 20 seconds, make your one resolution like this. And now, if you look back, you press the U here, now you can see it starts moving. And this is what we want, it's moving. And I'm going to turn back on the spotlight, and on the position, I'm going to copy the path like I did before. And after you select the path, you can actually drag it by selecting the last keyframe and then put it around the 20-second mark, same as the Saber. And now it's literally following our Saber light. Yes, but still not perfect because we don't actually see the light. And that is because the light is shining behind this layer. So we have to push it back. So using the X, first select all the keyframes, and using the X position, just drag your light. And as you can see here, you start to see the light. And just try to position it to the point that you want. Somewhere here. Okay, this is perfect. Yeah, I think this looks good. Okay, let me just get out of here. And as you can see now, it's going, but it's still not perfect. And why is that? And the reason is because of the rate of interest. It's not the same as the position. So you can actually make it the same by using the pick whip tool and put it on position. This way, now it starts to follow the light. As you can see, we zoom in a bit, maybe just to have a clear picture. And as you can see now, our light is following this Saber, and it's revealing as it goes. And this was cool. It's what exactly we want. And so let's do one more pre-comp. So just select everything, right click and pre-compose it, and let's call it animation, and just press OK. And now we have this animation tab, and I'm going to I'm going to turn on the 3D layer as well, and this looks cool. And I'm also going to create a camera again, and this will act as the main animation where we can create everything. So this camera will act as, we can animate it in a different way. If you press C, you can toggle between this, and then you can make a keyframes. You can, drag it, do it like this or whatever, just flex, right? I deleted the camera and create it again, but you get the point. And if the quality is too low, we can not the quality, but I think if we add a grain to it, it might look hidden. So we're going to create an adjustment layer that will shape the noise. And the noise will be around the same 10, and will be nice. And the light is following. And if we want a little bit offset in a meaning that, one thing I forgot, I didn't create a background layer. So let's go to our main and actually go to new, and let's create solid layer and put it on back, something like this. And as you can see, there is this black thing around here, and we can actually remove it by changing the blending mode, this thing. So the solid layer, and go to make it, let's say, screen, and now it should be off. Now not multiply, maybe add. What did I do here? Oh yeah, no, it's screen actually. So let's change it into solid composition. Yeah, let's change the blending mode to screen. This way we can remove this, and we don't want the background to be just white, right? So I'm going to add a gradient, 4-color gradient, something like this. And I'm also going to add a grid just to spice things up, So the grid, let's put the border to 1, and this is cool. And maybe the blending mode to screen, maybe the opacity, just a slight touch, nice. And we can also adjust this, but I think I kind of like this. So let's see, and we can make it smaller. Okay, this just to play with the numbers, but I think this is enough. And the background, since we're using a yellowish color here, on the gradient color, I'm just going to select this and make this the same and make the rest of them black. We can create this cool background, as you can see. And I'm also going to go inside the layer. And here, if you want the Saber to be a little bit up front, the way we're going to do this is using the white solid and actually push it to be something like this, maybe. And let's take it. Let's think, yeah, I think this looks good. Now we have this. And now the only thing left, is the animation. So let's start off the animation like around 3 seconds. Let's assume So let's take a look. Yeah. And I'm going to cut this camera here and also select the keyframes, press F9 here on the graph editor, make it simple like this so that it just jumps in. And the reason I cut the camera is so that we have a different scene in different segments. So I'm going to create a new camera and press OK. And here I'm also going to cut this camera around here, and to cut the camera I just press Alt and this bracket and you can cut it that way. And let's say in this one, so it goes like this. So here I press V in the position and around, let's say 6 seconds. Here I just want to do a simple zoom, nothing too fancy, something like this. And I can cut it with Alt and the bracket be like this. So let's take a look. It'll be like this here. Let's press F9 again and do the standard. Maybe this way to do something like this. Since it's middle, we don't want movements. And let me create a new camera and let me Alt in the bracket down here. This, and let's use a different approach with this one. And I'm actually do this using C. By pressing C you can toggle between the animation of this. I'm using now the orbit, that is this pan, that is this dolly. So we're using orbit. And let's actually zoom in a bit, and on the position make a keyframe here. It'd be like this, and while it goes up like this, we can do something like this. It will be like this going, and then this. Exactly. So this, but generally you can get creative with it. Like once you make this, you can come up with different kind of movements, and depending on the whole paint is done at this point. And so let's take a look. Our camera is moving like this, so we don't want that. And I know why it happened. Let me just delete the last keyframe. Actually, let me delete the whole thing. Let me undo this. And by pressing Shift, you can actually hold it like this. And now it looks straight. It's good. And select it and press F9. But basically, you can get creative with it. And not only you can cut just the cameras, but you can actually cut this too. For example, let's say I want this part, like the upper part. So if I want the upper part, I can be like, okay, we'll just want this part. So I'd be like, let me just duplicate this and let me cut this segment by Alt the bracket and let me put it around here. And I will cut this one here. Let's zoom in a bit so that we can have a better view. Okay. Now we can have this part. So you can, customize it to whatever that you like. But generally, this is how you can create this type of UI animation. I hope it's clear. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Be here to answer.